For me, Frank's Conan is the definitive Conan. I don't think it can ever be topped. It's just such a purely visceral vision.
Conan was written in the 30s. The books were published in the 30s. They were republished in the 40s. They were republished in the 50s. There was always a cult audience for Conan. And then Frazetta publishes a series of paperback covers in the 60s. All of a sudden, millions of copies of a paperback book sell for the first time in history.
When he started to do those Conan covers, it was as though everything in his life just blossomed, just immediately. You had a full-blown, classical, wonderfully drawing illustrator who seemed to come out of nowhere.
I read a lot of different R.E. Howard. I read Bran McMorn and Cull, as well as Conan. And, I'd sort of pick him by the Frazetta cover.
Roy Thomas sent me a batch of the paperbacks, and I saw these Frazetta paintings. That's the first time I was exposed to his stuff, and I was floored. That's it. He was the ultimate Conan painter.
This is symbolic of death, It's always somebody dying, So you don't see anybody dead there. Over there, he's been creating man, he's doing his job, and he's killed a few guys, and he's about to kill a few guys.
Well, we always want to get the kind of the mood and the lighting and the feel of those things, and there's a couple of scenes that are just absolutely dedicated in the movie to Frazetta. The scene we call the orgy chamber, when Conan comes back to get revenge. And that whole scene is done as much like Frazetta as it can be. It's, from Thulsa Doom turning into a snake with a princess laying next to him, to the girl chained to the pillar. The whole fight that takes place.
But none of them thought of calling Frank and asking him how he felt about various things, or hiring him. I mean, if I was Milius, I would have hired Frazetta in 10 seconds.
That was the first, immediately I said, well, we've got to get Frazetta. And Dino said that he had tried to get Frazetta, and that Frazetta didn't want to be bothered and didn't want to do this, and knew we, approved that we were making Conan, but didn't want to do anything. Every time that we tried to do anything of approaching Frazetta, it was sort of stopped by Dino.
I've never seen ferocity painted so well as in Conan the Red Cape. Yes. On the back of the ape. That young body, that young, all that thing, everything's just saying whack.
But I'll never forget the moment I saw the first Conan cover. I was in a drugstore in Thousand Oaks. I was in high school, and I was looking at the paperback racks because I was always looking for Frazetta's cover, and there was Conan the Adventurer, and it was like, hit me like a ton of bricks.
When you look at the face, for example, of Conan the Adventurer, the great Conan painting where he's leaning on the sword, what you're looking at is not just a picture of some little fantasy character, you're looking at the picture of the 20th century. The evil that's coming out of the earth, going up the sword, emanating and resonating from the face. And beyond that, he's not only drawing the picture of the 20th century, but he's drawing the picture of the darker side of human nature.
Even look at things like the scars on Conan's arms. These scars, these cuts were made when his arm was up to ward off a blow.
And the sword and the heap of skulls and hands and things, and this girl curled at his feet. It's all there. It never gets better than that.
Here you get Conan the way he does. That's it. Anything else, they'll just copy. Wouldn't do any good. I'm sure you've seen a few of those around.